Hey everybody, welcome to the Sharp Tizzy Pizzy. That's right, it's a Sharp Tongue podcast. Thank you so much for being here. I can't honestly do it without you. A podcast without listeners is just me talking to myself, which has happened for years. So here I am and you're listening. And if you want to help me out, do me a favor right here on YouTube, subscribe to my channel. It helps me so much. It helps out the podcast. It helps it grow so that I can have better guests on. And make sure you like the video. Thumbs it up. Give us a little love. Let us know you're enjoying this video. Share it with your friends. And if you're listening to the podcast, give us a 5-star rating. That's right. I'm asking for a 5-star rating. Maybe greedy, but that's the type of life I'm in. That's the energy I'm giving out. Let me show you the energy, the vibe. Vibe check. Yeah. Ross Dress for Less. Guess. Sunglasses. You don't have to guess. It's Ross Dress for Less. What are we guessing? Make sure you rate the pod. And you can call the podcast. Give us a jingle. We'll play your voicemail on the podcast, 513-916-0930. If you want the exclusive video, honey, exclusivity, okay? Patreon.com/Jessimae Peluso to get the full video. It's iconic, just like these discount sunglasses. Also, don't forget my merchandise is up. We got Hot Sister merch, and we've got a whole bunch of other fun things, koozies and t-shirts, stickers. That's jessimae.com. There's a shop there, and don't forget to come see me live. A portion of your ticket sales, a portion of the merch sales, however you support me, will go towards the Alzheimer's Association and Hilarity for Charity. Thank you so much, Maybays. A lot's going on. We have a lot to discuss. First, I was attacked at a Ross Dress for Less on my way out. I was attacked. I wasn't really attacked. What happened is this thing that they do at stores now. I don't know if it happens where you are, where you live. Probably not, because there's probably people living in towns that aren't as wild and chaotic as Los Angeles and don't require a security guard at a Ross Dress for Less on a Tuesday at 11 a.m. But nonetheless, it's chaos out here. So they hire a security guard. Is he securing anything? It's dubious. It's doubtful. It's to be debatable. Because he's standing there on his cell phone. So I'm just watching this guy. I'm going to cash out, and I'm just watching this guy, and he's not really doing much. He's not really checking anything. And as I'm done, I get a basket. I have a basket, I bought a basket, then I put all the stuff I bought in the basket. Did I need all of it? Absolutely not. Do you need what you buy? I mean, don't forget about girl code when we said, do you need it? Don't think about it. Just put it in the cart. Well, that was my energy on this particular Ross Dress for Less spree that I went on, and I spent $36. It's the least amount of money I've ever spent in Ross Dress for Less. I consider that a success. If I'm walking out under $1, hello, budget queen. Move over, Dave Ramsey. There's a new financially secure human being in town, and it's Miss Jessimae. That's right. I only spent $36 at Ross Dress for Less. I'm going to start a finance podcast called How to Be Bougie on a Budget. It's actually not a bad idea. Let's get that started. I was about to walk out, and the girl told me, I put all my stuff in the basket. So I bought my basket, put the few things I bought in the basket. She goes, don't forget to show the security guy your receipt on the way out. And I says, okay, whatever you say, girl. That's really going to do anything. But you know what? I'm going to listen to you. I'm going to respect your job and your authority that you have here. So I go to the guy who wipes the sleep from his eyes at the exit/entrance of Ross Dress for Less. He looks at the receipt, grabs the receipt, looks at it quick, and just does a quick little yellow Sharpie over it. Doesn't even look in the basket to see if the amount of items on the receipt are equivalent to the items in the basket. Which made me think of two things. One, I regret not stealing. Everyone else is doing it. Might as well toss a couple lipsticks in there. Like I don't deserve it. And two, Ross Dress for Less security is just as secure as a TSA in airports. Basically, the security at Ross Dress for Less is the same as a TSA. And you wait until you see what I sneak out of that place next time, is all I'm saying. You better suit up at the Ross Dress for Less exit. You better suit up, buddy. armed and dangerous. I might even just run through the damn doorway, not even have him check the receipt. Now, I had to test this out, so I went back the day after. Yeah, I did. You know, I went back the next day. I went back the next day to test it out. Bought a few more items. This time, another basket. Same security dude. Didn't even realize I had the same items, practically. You know, you got to be a little bit more keen if you're going to be a security guy. That's the problem. Even that job is no longer taken seriously. Yeah, it's just a retail store, but here you have an opportunity to live out like a dream. Remember being a kid and imagining being a ninja or a cop or any sort of type of job or skill where you had to have a certain set of skills and some fun accessories to go along with it? They might not give you a gun, but you got a nightstick. That's kind of fun. I don't even know if he had that, to be honest. I think the security guards in LA are armed with gentle words. The security guards in Los Angeles don't have guns. They have kindness. And that's what they're doing to secure the perimeter. They're securing the perimeter with proper pronouns. So, you know, this guy's there with no pride. No pride in the job. That's part of the problem. We've lost our pride in our line of work. Hey, man, no matter what you do, no matter what kind of job you have some pride in it. Have some pride in it. Care a little bit. I guarantee you it'll reflect back on you in a positive way throughout your day. And maybe not that day, maybe the next day. Maybe later on in the week or later on in the month, but it's gonna come around. This guy had no pride. I walk up my basket full of items. No way to tell how many items. He looks at the receipt, takes it, circles the frickin' number again, hands me the receipt. But not before he kind of stops me, because I did try to leave without him checking my receipt. Not that I stole anything. I just wanted to test the system a little. It's what I do. It's who I am. It's my nature to test systems, to see how they fail, if they fail, and why they fail. And so I go to leave. He goes, receipt. And I went, and I hand it to him. And I was like, oh, this guy actually might count the items. Didn't count the items. Just drew a horrible line, not even a straight line, with his yellow Sharpie marker, his highlighter. He didn't light anything. He has an opportunity to highlight something. Didn't highlight nothing. And goes like, all right. Oh, wow, that really secured the perimeter. You can't even count the items in my basket? Well, some of you are like, well, he's only getting $15 an hour. Well, you know what? Some people are making 8 cents a day in different countries in Africa. So don't come to me about your $15 an hour. I know it's not a lot of money. It kind of sucks, and we have to change and evolve as a society. But you know what? Have some pride. Have some pride. We got to do better. We got to do better. Next time, I'm definitely going to steal from Ross for loss. We've got some Cuse news. Some wild Cuse news. There is talk in the town, you guys. It's making me a little nervous. Destiny USA could be foreclosed, according to a report. The mall, the popular Destiny Mall in Syracuse, could be facing foreclosure, according to a report by Kroll Bond Rating Agency, which stated the mall took out a $440 million loan. Oh, my God. I mean, girl, get your finances in order. Talk about financial responsibility and being a little frugal in your life. KBRA said Destiny USA confirmed it was unable to meet its $38 million debt for a 1-year extension of payments after the service was notified. It decided to terminate its temporary agreement. They set the value of Destiny USA at $65 million, which is much less the amount that it owes. There are no specific actions the mall could take to enforce payment, but foreclosure and liquidation of assets could be an option. That made me sad. I know a lot of these malls are closing across the country, have closed across the country. And growing up in Syracuse, I even saw a couple malls close, and it was sad. Great Northern Mall, it might still be open. There's a couple malls that closed, and it broke my heart. You know, I don't want these places to shut down. They're like a museum. frozen in time of an era when we would go out and touch the items we bought, speak to the people who worked at the store that housed the items we wanted to purchase. It was an event. We'd go out. We went out more. We went out so much more. We were social. We talked to people. And I'm grateful that I grew up in that generation. The mall was my playground during my teenage years. I grew up in Carousel Mall, a.k.a. Destiny USA. I should say Destiny USA, a.k.a. Carousel Mall, but you know what? Whatever. It was a place where my parents eventually got to trust me. I don't know why they did. Here I am, 42 years old, trying to steal from Ross Drossfloss. They trusted me enough to let me shop alone. So I remember the days when my parents would let me do that, and I felt so grown. I call my girl Amy G. I'd be like, Amy, we're going to the mall. And guess what? Joey P is not going to be walking 40 feet behind us anymore. That's what my dad used to do. It's typical Guinea. Yo, you want to go to the mall? Okay. Take us to the mall and walk behind us like I was Paris Hilton with a personal security escort. There's somebody who had some pride. Personal security escort? Yeah, you better have some pride. Maybe that's what it takes. Lose the threat of losing a life. My dad walked behind me like he was J-Lo's security detail. Meanwhile, my dad was gentler than any creature I'd ever met in my life. My father would not harm a fly. He'd talk a big game. But I don't know what my dad would actually do if push came to shove. If someone messed with me in the mall. I could not imagine my dad fighting. Can you guys? Anybody out there have a dad who could actually do some damage? You remember that movie, Taken? I used to have a joke about this. Liam Neeson was the most resourceful father of all time. You remember that? His daughter gets kidnapped in Paris, and Liam Neeson's the wrong dad to mess with. Don't you mess with Liam Neeson as a dad. He's coming for you. He's got receipts. He has that phone call. I don't know who you are. I don't know where you are. Actually, no, he's like, I don't know who you are, but I will tell you I have a certain set of skills. Yeah, he's like, I've worked a career over a lifetime, and I've acquired a certain set of skills, that makes it easy for a guy like me to find a guy like you, and I will find you, and I will kill you. That's how Liam Neeson handled the phone call with the kidnapper. My dad can't work an elevator. My father could not work an escalator. There was nothing to work. He couldn't figure it out. You know how many times we lost him inside an escalator? Joey P would step on that escalator. He'd be gone. Like those creepy videos of those Asian women who go into the escalator. That was my dad. Have you guys seen those videos of these Asian women in malls in China where no one's doing the upkeep? Where's Otis? Do they have the Otis company there where people come and inspect the elevator and the escalator? Why are so many escalators eating Asian women? Is what I want to know. Where's Otis to come and check? Is there a battery that needs to be replaced? Because I've seen these videos where these escalators open up and eat an Asian lady with a baby on her hip, and I'm like, this is a hate crime. Somebody has to stop this. No one's talking about this. It's an epidemic. But Joey P slipped inside a couple of those, for sure. And we thought we lost him, but he made it out on the other side. This man couldn't handle a scuffle in the mall? Are you kidding me? But I remember the day. Joey P said, you know what? I'm cutting the string, taking off the training wheels. I think my baby girl has earned her stripes, and she deserves to walk around that mall free. Boy, was that a bad idea. I stole from every store in that mall. Just like eyeliners and stuff. You know, just little things here and there. Because I was bored. I didn't do drugs. I took lipsticks. Is that so bad? Am I going to go to jail because I said this? I better not go to jail. I'll be pissed. But I do feel a little worried that this mall could go under. Like Joey in the escalator. Like the Asian ladies in the escalators. I don't want it to go under. The same way you don't want your pet to die. It signals an end of an era. It signals change, and it forces you to move in a direction. You either go backwards or forwards, or you stay still. And when these things evolve, when these things happen, It makes you take a little inventory of your life and where you've been and how you've lived and the friendships you've acquired. The friendships where you've spent time in a mall in an era when it was just simpler. When we exchanged cash and said thank you to a person for the thing we bought, where we had a little bit more of an idea and respect for money and a little bit more of respect for each other. Maybe I'm wrong. Am I? I don't know. But the mall foreclosure, looming foreclosure, made me really nostalgic for the mall. Made me think about rolling around in that mall and why there wasn't a freaking roller skating rink. Mall's a great place to have a roller skating rink. Why don't they? Those floors? You know what malls should do? Rope off all the escalators, do a party at night with a DJ, and let us roller skate around the mall. Charge a couple bucks to raise money. You know how the girls wear white t-shirts and do car washes for the 9th grade fundraiser? Let's do that for the mall foreclosing. Let's do a roller skating party to raise funds so she don't have to shut down. Anybody with me? It made me want to look at the stores that they have. And there's a bunch that I don't recognize. But let me just blast off a couple of these. The first 4 don't matter. 99-cent City, hello. 99-cent City had so many opportunities for everybody. It allowed broke kids to feel luxurious. You go in with a 5 spot and tell your friends, I got it. You go in with a 5 spot to 99-cent City like P. Diddy rolling up in one of his freak-offs with bottles of baby oil. Like, who needs a little saturation? Who needs some lubrication today because mama's got some money? Hope he rots in jail. You walked into a 99-cent City. You were peeling them off for your friends. Go ahead. Enjoy it. Get one for your mom. How's your mom? Is she good? Yeah, peel another one off. Get one for your granddad. I know he was suffering a little bit. Felt rich. Felt like a mob boss. Aerie. Still don't understand what Aerie was. Although I know I wanted all the jeans. Aeropostale. What a slut. Slutty girls. Slutty undercover girls shopped Aeropostale. The girls who everyone loved and they acted like they were virgins, but we knew they were sluts, blowing the whole baseball team, but acting like, going to church on Sunday, always dressing kind of preppy, but there's cleavage. Preppy with cleavage. Better than everyone. Whore. They shopped at Aeropostale. There's Aloha Crab, which is what they should have at the doctor's office if you end up getting crabs. Let's make it fun. Put a fish restaurant inside. Let me at least get a meal. Make it fun. Aloha Crab. I don't know what that is. That wasn't there. American Eagle Classic. Ann Taylor. I was always like, oh, God, these waspy women. My mom made Ann Taylor feel like Gucci when I was a kid. Oh, we can't afford that. That's 100% cotton. Like, Mom, what? I didn't even know they made that. Are you serious? That sounds luxurious. Is that more than silk? I just remember my mom saving money for Ann Taylor. Let's see what else we have. Apple, boring. As Seen on TV. That's a great store to go in on an edible. You feel like you're in a room with famous people. You're like, oh my God, the ShamWow. Guys, the ShamWow's here. Oh my gosh. Look, the no-stick George Foreman grill. I didn't even know they still made those. Guys, they have Snuggies. I'm such a fan. As Seen on TV, that's a great place to go. You just feel like you're watching the red carpet of television. Auntie Anne's, that buttery freaking pretzel, the cinnamon pretzel with the butter. Nothing tastes like a mall more than an Aunt Annie's. Annie Anne's. Is it Aunt Annie's or Annie Ann's? Auntie Anne's. It's a tough thing to say. Does anyone out there even have an Auntie Anne? Nothing tasted like a mall more than an Auntie Anne's pretzel. Cinnamon and butter. Butter me up. Savory and sweet. Yes. I'd get dropped off at the mall and I'd beeline for AAs. I tell people I'm going to AA. People thought I had a drinking problem. No, I have a pretzel problem. And the solution is AAs in the mall. Stuff in my face. I got to go to my meeting. What meeting do you have? What's going on? You struggling? Yeah, I'm struggling because I'm low on carbs. I'm going to go slam one of those pretzels down my throat and see a double feature, Jurassic Park and Ace Ventura, like a lady. Afterwards, I'm going to walk around the mall for 4 hours and be completely entertained without a cell phone, without an update, without a like, without a post, without a pose. We didn't pose. Do you understand? We weren't as aware of ourselves as this generation is. God bless. Thank you so much, Mom and Dad, for meeting in that bar, for my dad making that inappropriate comment from behind about my mom, and for my mom, for whatever reason, making it work for her and making me in the time of life that they made me. Thank you so much, because I was able to walk around the mall, walk in a Bath and Body Works like I was a off-work stripper, and splash myself with country apple. Was it country orchard apple? I can't remember. Listen, if you're a girl listening to this and used to go into Bath and Body Works, email me what your scent was. Tell me what it was. Would you walk in? Were you raspberry? Come on. Warm vanilla sugar? My sister had stock in warm vanilla sugar. Bath and Body Works, what was your scent? Jessimae Peluso comedy at gmail.com. Let me know. You can DM me as well. They had Burlington Coat Factory. It's more than just coats. It's shoes. It's possibilities. It's accessories. It's things that go with coats. Who did that marketing? It's more than just coats. I mean, it's other things that go with coats as well, but it's more than coats. Oh, like mittens? Yeah, mittens, hats, scarves, but that's more than coats. We have to let people know that there's more, and that's the problem. We always want more. We always want more. And it's never enough. The mall is a perfect example. Maybe the mall was our gateway into social media somehow. Because the mall is kind of like a social media page. And you walk, and that's the equivalent of you scrolling. And the stores are the posts that you see. And the people are, in your mind, you're liking or disliking. Maybe we're on this inevitable path that creates this longing and paying for the past because things have changed and evolved so much since the introduction of technology into our world. Technology just used to be like the auto industry and the railroad, and now it's in our hands, and it's evolving our thought process and our behaviors. And how ironic that in order to unwind, for myself at least, I revert back to a more natural way of being. I revert back to the way things were before. Being in nature and talking and hanging out and eating and dancing and doing the simplest things. Turns out simplicity is the antidote to the stress that is caused from all the social media and even the longing for the way things used to be. Just reverting back to a simpler way of being. Champ Sports. I always had to go into a Champ Sports and get my starter jacket, my pullover. Do you know the one thing I regret? Besides throwing everything in my mom's house out in a hurry, I regret getting rid of my Charlotte Hornets pullover starter jacket. That was one of the greatest things of the 90s. If you know, you know. You remember popping that thing over your head? You never even watched a game in your life, did you? I know who Hugo was. I think that was his name, the mascot. My math teacher told me that was her cousin. So she brought in an autographed picture of him. I think I still have it somewhere. I'll probably find it. I keep everything. Was his name Hugo? Bugo? Fugo? I knew them. Muggsy Bogues? Bugsy Mogues? Muggsy Bogues? He was a person. A little fella. He was like the Kevin Hart point guard for the Charlotte Hornets. Never watched a game, but man, those colors, turquoise and purple, ooh, I put it on. I felt regal. Speaking about Regal Cinemas. Yeah, we went to the movies. That's what we did. We got dropped up at the mall like a solo independent woman, slammed an Auntie Anne's bagel or pretzel, slammed it, cinnamon, got my spirits up, took a couple laps around the mall, said hello to my homies at Champ Sports, walked my ass up that escalator that ate Joey P, went to the Regal Cinemas, and hung out. Felt like a champion in my Charlotte Hornet starter pullover. Never seeing a game. I didn't need to see a game. I had the vibe. We were all about sporting jackets that represent sport teams that we never supported. I never went to a game. I did go to a Harlem Globetrotters game a couple times with Joey P. They came to the War Memorial. Loved that. And don't think I'm not going to talk about Claire's and you irresponsible parents getting your kids' ears pierced there. I had my ears pierced there 4 dozen times. I don't know where those holes went. Everything closed up. You get your ears pierced at Claire's, it took 14 years to heal because they had 16-year-olds using guns. This girl, one of my piercings is crooked because this girl wasn't fully developed. They got children given ear piercings at Claire's boutique. Definitely peeled off a couple pairs of earrings from Claire's. I'm not going to lie. I feel like after this podcast airs, I'm going to have to go and repair damages at these stores. Allegedly. Claire's boutique, I felt rich. Sterling silver? What? Gold plated? Move over, Cleopatra. I'm adding to my collection. I don't think Claire's had BOGO. They had like 3 free, where you buy 3 and get 3 free. And if somebody doesn't have that, that's a great marketing idea, 3 free. I realized I just really laid down a hard that. Syracuse came out of me because I've been talking about Syracuse this whole time. I intended to talk about a lot of different things today. A lot of different things were on the docket. But walking down memory lane has got me feeling a certain type of way. A certain type of way. Yeah, there was a Dunky D's in there. You know, yeah, we had an Eddie Bauer, but I never stepped foot in there. I thought, this is just for people who go hiking and fall off of cliffs. I don't belong in Eddie Bauer. I thought math teachers shop there and no one else. Finish Line, another sports store. I love sports store. I love sneakers, man. Dropping that new sneaker on the first day of school that you got, it was a big deal. It was a big deal. Yes, we've talked about BOGO at Payless. Felt rich. Buy one, get one. Nancy would sometimes go crazy and let us buy 2, get 2. But when we were really balling out on our birthdays, she would take us to freaking, whatchamacallit, Foot Locker and let us pick out the new Nike. And usually it was a Nike Air Max. Felt good. Putting those babies on the floor for the first day of school with your starter jacket. You felt fresh. You were like, come on, check me out. Everything's crisp. Who's going to be my boyfriend this year? No one, because I had chimples and braces. And I didn't bloom until I was in senior year. And by then, everyone was coupled up. You know what else they have in Carousel Mall? Funny Bone. Wasn't there when I was there as a kid, but it's there now. And guess who's going to be there the Wednesday before Thanksgiving? Yes, it's me. Jesse's back again to entertain Syracuse, New York. I might have to talk about all these stores on stage because this is hilarious. Funny Bone, Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Come see me live. GameStop. I remember Radio Shack. It's a shack. It's a shack of games. I remember going in and getting Altered Beast. Sega 16-bit. You couldn't see anything. It looked blurry. It's amazing how you adapt to the definition and how defined resolution gets and how quickly you adapt to it. You ever try and watch VHS today? You're like, I'm blind. Stop the tape because I've lost my vision. I can no longer see. Everything's blurry. You try and watch VHS today, you think you've gone blind. I got glaucoma. Somebody help. I can't see. The one store I couldn't stand in the mall was the one store my mom would drag me into, and that was the Hobby Lobby, because Nancy liked to make pillows for friends. She dragged me in there. We got to go to the Hobby Lobby. Ghoul. The Hobby Lobby? Nancy, you know, she had her puff and stuff business. She's out here like the chick from Weeds, dealing out homemade pillows with embroidered names on them like they were drugs to our friends and family. I think that's the only business she had were my aunts and uncles that were constantly buying pillows from her. But Nancy was busy. So we had to go to Hobby Lobby. I'd be like, okay, Nance, we're going to go to Hobby Lobby, but not without me stopping by Hot Topic so I can get my goth era on. That's right. Everyone was goth. There weren't just goth people. I was goth. I was sporty. I was cute. I was awkward, but I was goth as well. You go in a Hot Topic, I would buy stuff because they were smart. They locked a lot of their stuff up. I buy fake nose rings and black eyeliner. Give me that Tim Burton T-shirt and those the black mittens. You know, girls with the cut off mittens. I'm gonna walk around and be emo and be mad. And then you'd go into Spencer's Gifts and buy whoopee cushions for everybody. It was a simpler time. It was a simpler era. You'd walk around this mall and you'd let it lead you to wherever your next destination was. You didn't have a destination. You didn't need to have one. You and your friends didn't need to pose and make a post. We weren't thinking about doing sexy choreographed dances. We did choreography, but there's nothing sexy about it. I'll tell you that much. Looked more like gyration, somebody trying to get a spider off of their leg, but we did it. Osh, kosh, bagosh, did we do it? Okay? We went in and we got it done. In this mall, you know, when you'd go shopping and then you go to the food court. You go to the food court and you're like, I am a king. I am a queen amongst kings. Am I going to go to Chicago's very own Pizzeria Uno? It's not Pizzeria Dos or Trace. It's Pizzeria Uno. I'm going to do a little tour around the world. We've got Mexico. We got Italia. Am I going to go Sbarro? Sbarro. How do we say it? We don't know. The cheese isn't real. Eat it. Because you've worked up hunger from spending your dad's hard-earned bartender money from things from GameStop, Foot Locker, and the 99-cent city. And boy, was your heart full when you left that mall. Your heart was full because your expectations were low and the time was easier. No one was checking your receipt when you walked out of stores. They should have. When I left the store, they definitely should have. But they didn't. It was just an easier time. And now we want more. We want more, but when we think about what we need to relax, what do we need to do? We have to do less. And that's what's got me feeling like nostalgia. You know, nostalgia stops me in my tracks and makes me take a beat, take a minute, think about the way things were and appreciate how they were. Appreciate that time that I grew up with parents who allowed me to spread my wings, walking around that polished concrete kingdom of possibilities that was Carousel Mall. It better not foreclose. I will be very sad, and I will force you guys into a fundraiser to keep my dreams alive. Because, you know, how am I going to get my mom a gift for Christmas from Yankee Candle if it shuts down? Plus, she's dead. So she shut down a little early. But I just think we need to hang on to the past a little bit. You know, I talk a lot about letting go, but I think it's okay to hang on to the past in your heart. A couple people got bummed out when I talked about, letting go. I think it's okay to hang on. It's okay to hang on to memories. That's what memories are. That's how you hang on, through memories. You keep a little card catalog of your past in your back pocket. Let it keep a little perspective for you. Let you know that there was a simpler time and you can get back to that. Right in your backyard, take your shoes off, put your toes in the grass, get grounded. Talk to a crow. They're smart. I think they're the intelligence of like a 5-year-old. I've met a lot of dumb 5-year-olds, but there's a couple smart ones too. It's not all created equal, but you do have the ability to simplify your life and to look back and see where you came from and enjoy it and appreciate it. And I really do appreciate it. I appreciate where I came from. And I hope that mall does not shut down. I really do. And I hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode, and please come see me live, jessimae.com/tour. My tour starts this weekend. I'm going to be in La Jolla, California at the Comedy Store. At the end of the month, I'm going to be in Rochester at the Comedy on the Carlson. November, I'm going to be in Syracuse, Omaha, Nebraska. December, I will be in Springfield, Massachusetts, Vegas, Boston, Massachusetts. Check out my dates. Come see me live. Come laugh. Let's laugh about the past and be hopeful about our future. And thank you guys so much for listening. Please share this podcast with your friends. Let's have a good time. And remember that life is as crazy as we make it. And the past is just a thought away. Thank you guys.